Welcome to Hildestone College's quick lesson series where our teachers give you some English language tips.
Hello! Now today I'd like to give you some advice about using your dictionary well. It really doesn't matter whether you're using a paper dictionary or an online one or an app, but it is important to use a reliable one. Now, any of the big companies who produce learners' dictionaries are good, so you can trust them. But it is important that you use a learner's dictionary because they give you much more information about how to use a word than a dictionary which is aimed at native speakers of English. Now, I do recommend that you try out different dictionaries until you find one that you like. But equally, when you're looking for a specific word, don't be scared to compare different definitions because you will find that some dictionaries give you more example sentences, others give grammatical information, and some even show you the typical mistakes that learners make. Now, all of this information can be useful for you, but which bits you need actually depend on the word that you're looking up. Now, today, we're going to use the example of the word effect to talk about some of the different information that a dictionary gives you and to show you what you should pay attention to. Most dictionaries will give the most common meaning for a word first. So the most common usage of effect is as a noun. But you probably already know that lots of words in English have many different meanings. So it's important that you read all of the information that your dictionary gives you and not just the first thing that you see and then leave it at that. Different dictionaries also use different methods to show you how common a word is. Some colour the most common entries, or they give them a star rating. So the more stars a word has, the more common it is. Some dictionaries also use what's called the CEFR scale. That's the Common European Framework of Reference. You don't need to worry about that though. All you need to know is that the scale starts at A1 for beginners, goes on to A2, B1, B2, and so on, all the way up to C2, which is for learners who speak English and use English as well as a native speaker. So those are quite high-level words at C2 level, as you can imagine. Now, when the word effect means result, it's, roughly speaking, a B1 level word. So that means pre-intermediate. That's when we would expect to teach that word or for learners to know it. The information in square brackets, the C and the U, that means countable and uncountable. A countable noun is one you can count logically. So you can have one teacher or two teachers or many teachers. A noun like water is usually used as an uncountable noun because you can have water, but not two waters because it's all the general substance, so you can't count it. The word effect, meaning result, can be used as a countable or an uncountable noun. Now that sounds a bit confusing at first, but I've got some example sentences to help you. So have a look at those. You can see that you can say an effect, or three effects, or four effects, or whatever, or that something has some effect. And those are the different uses. Now, a good dictionary will also tell you that there's a more formal and less common usage of effect, this time meaning use. Used this way, the word is uncountable. And you can also see from the examples that it's used with the verb come and the preposition into. Now, those aren't the only options. I just don't want to take up too much of your time today. But in a good dictionary, it will show you the different combinations and how to use them. And that's really the point I'm making about learners' dictionaries. They will tell you the other verbs which are used with the noun that you're looking up, the prepositions that follow them, and so on. And native speaker dictionaries don't do that. Now, these combinations of words that I'm talking about, they're called collocations. And that's something important for you to know about in English, because it will make you sound a lot more natural if you can use the right collocations. Let's go back to our example word now, effect. This time we're going to see effects, the plural, used as a plural noun. When it's used like this, you've probably actually already seen it. It's used to describe films, for example. So people talk about the amazing special effects in a film. There's another way of using this plural noun though, and that's in more specialised language. In this case, law. Now the plural noun effects in law is a formal way of referring to the things that belong to you. You can see from the example sentence that you might see this kind of usage on a sign perhaps, but you're not likely to hear it in conversation. If you're using it in the legal sense, you might, but that's quite a specific circumstance. Okay, it's not normally used in chit-chat that way. Now finally, we have the last usage of the word effect. This time the word form is changing and we're looking at the verb, and you can see this is also quite formal. So it's the kind of language you might use in an IELTS essay or in work that you're doing for your university course, for example. Again, it's not for that reason common in spoken language, unless, as we've said before, it's a formal situation. So, to summarise, do make sure that you use a learner's dictionary because it gives you lots of extra help. And whether you're using a paper, online or app version of a dictionary, make sure that you understand the kind of information it gives you by checking the notes inside the cover or at the beginning of the dictionary. And make sure that you read all of the information for an entry. That way, you'll avoid making lots of typical mistakes. So, good luck with that. Happy practicing, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please click on the like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the bell icon so that you don't miss the next video. That's it for this lesson. Until next time, goodbye.